Jordan fans up.
I don't do that.
Good evening and welcome to the show. Happy Monday. It is January the 26th. We are here. You are here. This is the Qtr Sports Podcast. I am your host, Mr. Kevlar Treat 'em Swell. And yes, even in the cold, I make sure that I can treat them well.
You got to change that shit.
My wife's like, who's they? Joined with me, as always, Mr. Skip. I'm sorry, fellas. All right, Mr. Skip from Skip's Trophies and More, and Mr. Diamond Dirty D for life. Fellas, before we get started, I'm just going to tell y'all about my Saturday night, because last time it involved these people, it was a sport. This one, I mean, it could be a sport. Midget strippers. This was a show in Marietta. I have to voice this, D. I'm so sorry, but I'm waiting for the people to get in here. What a sham that was. Okay.
A sham.
Oh, what? Wait. What are we talking about?
The midget strip. Micro Maidens is what they were called. That was the name of their show.
Oh, it's a show.
Yeah, it was a show.
Oh, okay. Say that. Leave with that.
You remember last year or the year before, we went to the micro wrestling, right? So I'm like, oh, this has to be good, right? When I tell you, this is what threw me off when we first got in there. They have a little table that shows all the girls and whatnot. They said one of these girls was 4'12".
Not 4'12".
Am I stupid or is that just 5 foot?
That's 5 foot. Told him that.
I said 4'12". I knew it was gonna be some bullshit. But I'm gonna say this last part before we just move on. But they said that there was. I was sitting there thinking there's gonna be like 50 little people running around. You know what I mean? Because it was like 500 tickets were sold. It sold out. They sold out. They had 6. And you were supposed to get like dances from the ladies, and they had
First of all,
6.
Was your wife in attendance with you with this?
No, because she had no problem with me going.
Oh, it ain't happened yet.
No, it went Saturday.
Oh, okay.
No, my wife's cool, man. My wife's cool.
We got to find you some other adventures.
I'm trying to tell you because you sound kind of
What do you mean? Watching midgets run around on the promo video. They just had a little girl run and jump on stage.
Look, we got 19 people in the chat.
We're getting into it. I just had to voice my dismay in that. It was
the like button and share. Hit the like button and share. This guy here has many Tiny Toon adventures that he do over the weekend. And you never know what he's getting himself into. So, that's what he does. He goes ventures off and he finds all types of stuff. Last year around this time, he is correct. We had little people wrestling. So now he's venturing off in barroom fights and these things. We are a well-rounded type show.
No.
So there you go. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm sorry. It's fresh on my mind. It happened Saturday, and I've been irritated ever since, okay? It's just, All right. Well, fellas, I'm going to start us here because I shared this on Facebook last night. Maybe it was this morning. Either way, as a South Carolina Gamecock fan, I never thought I would see the day where I would be saying Dabo Swinney was right.
Ooh.
I believe what Dabo laid out in his press conference the other day can turn college football around. D, what didn't make sense about that? If you leave a school, if you transfer twice, and it wasn't because your coach got fired, the coach that recruited you got fired, that second transfer, you sit a year. It used to be you transfer once and you sit a year. Now,
I have no problem with what he was saying. Now, he's the first one to speak up on this NIL thing also, when we just seen that he had a linebacker that transferred in from California. The guy's walking around on campus with Clemson paraphernalia on and so forth, and he's getting text messages and phone calls from Ole Miss that's all asking him how much money he received from Clemson. We'll double it, triple it, or whatever they want to do. And this is what totally took place. And I feel him on that. They're going to get to a point. If we don't get the cap, we're going to get some type of, as you say, this jumping around. You know what I'm saying? So we got to figure it out. Go ahead, Skip.
Dabo hit the nail on the head, and that was a rough draft. I think real quick, thinking outside the box, or a quick tweak to just what he said, you should only be able to have one transfer where you play immediately the following year. Anything after that, coach got fired or coach left. But now what's good for the goose got to be good for the gander. If a coach like what you call him did, leave Ole Miss and go to LSU, just pow, gone, and his contract is still up, same thing should apply to him or her. Not there's no women NCAA coaches, but if it applies to the children for leaving for money or stature, it should apply to the coaches also, because an offensive coordinator could have been the reason you came. You get what I'm saying? I like the way his offensive style. Then he get a head coaching job, and he out of there the next year. It should apply across the board when it comes to coaches. I get it. You get these smaller positions in order to get the bigger position. Understandable. But if a kid came there because of you or that person, and they leave, and they should have the freedom to say, you know what, let me go to another school that runs this type of offense. Let me go to where it fits me better. So there's a lot of tweaking that has to be done to it. And like I said, salary cap and all the stuff he hit on, it was fine, but it's still a rough draft. You know, it's just what he said he thinks should happen. But there's a lot of things a lot of moving parts. There shouldn't be no tampering. There should be penalties for tampering, like what they did, like what you call them did with him, with the player. So there's a whole bunch of things that how can you address it? How can you prove it? It's the Wild Wild West right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And he even said, he said, I've had other coaches call me, but y'all need to speak up. And one coach that called him and then spoke up was Shane Beamer. We had a guy who I think he was an Alabama defensive end, signed up for classes at Carolina, committed to us, but was already signed up for his classes again at Alabama. So now Alabama's taking him back, and I don't know. The Beamer made a statement about somebody owing us some money. But I mean, I think that falls on the kid at this point. But these kids, what they're saying the problem is, I'm sorry to jump back on. What they're saying the problem is exactly what we talked about last week. We're getting these makeshift agents, guys who have not ever done this, who are just like, hey kid, I'm a good negotiator. I can get you some more money over here. And they're gonna start getting kids in trouble.
Well, the trouble doesn't apply, at least not yet, to the children like it does to the majors, the big leagues, the pros. Because now these kids are so talented that these schools are just hungry for them. There's only 32 NFL teams. You get what I'm saying? There's 124
133
133 schools.
Division.
Let's just cut that in half. There's 50 schools that will take him and pay him versus it being 32. And then you got to go take this all pros position or whatever. you're going to be going to these schools and starting because the field of competition is a lot slimmer versus the NFL. So, but what I was about to say about the NIL money, about the NIL thing is these kids should be, the contract should stipulate when they sign a big NIL deal, you got to be here 3 years. No ifs, ands, or buts. That's what the contract stipulates. You're not going to pay a Carson Beck 4, 7, 11 million a year, and then you decide, well, I got the biggest part of my contract. Let me go somewhere else and get me another payday.
Well, you just seen that with your quarterback. I think they had to buy out his contract from Duke for him to come down there with you guys.
And I think that was a bad move.
A lot of stuff is going on. I just recently seen Dion is over here trying to find $2,500 if they don't show up and do certain things. Now this is turning into professional type stuff, and
you get paid,
so on. And I get it, but everybody's not getting that.
I don't know if he can legally do that.
Well, hey,
it's done.
Whatever
he can say it, but
but we don't know if it's applying right now. But it's a lot of loopholes in what they have opened up in this Pandora's box that we have with college football. Because I don't understand, again, like we stated, you sign for a scholarship to go to a university. This is what you do. Now every year, at the end of the year, they're renegotiating contracts for you to stay. So to me, does the scholarship mean anything? I mean, I'm just trying to figure it out.
And in the case that I think they should, that's another caveat of the tweaking, where if we bring you in on scholarship and you make in excess of $250 a year, the scholarship needs to go back to the school and you need to pay your way through school.
I was going to say that. I believe in that wholeheartedly.
I mean, you're getting everything handed to you. You're being catered to like a spoiled child at that point in time. You get to eat as much as you want. You get free room and board. You're getting free schooling, education for however long you stay there, and you're making $500,000 a year. There's people that's been out here breaking their back for 15, 20 years ain't seen $500,000. So no, if you come to school and you ended up getting any NIL and you exceed a threshold, you should be made to pay for everything. That's
okay, but now here's one thing when it comes to my rebuttal to Dion's fines, and it's exactly what you just said, Skip, or maybe it was D who said it. Not everybody's making that. If I'm the backup kicker, I probably ain't got no deal. I'm probably lucky to get half a scholarship. So my car, something happens and I'm late to practice, you find me $2,500. What the fuck do you expect me to do? I'm a college kid.
I don't think in my opinion, and this we're assuming, I don't think it's across the board. I think
I've got the list right here. I can.
No. What I mean by across the board is pay scale. He knows about all the NIL deals. The coach or the faculty, somebody knows what NILs these kids have. There's no let me go make this backdoor thing and nobody knows about it. You get what I'm saying? So I don't think that same amount will apply to the kicker. There'll be something, but I think there's a minimum NIL for all of the athletes, isn't it?
Some.
No, I'm talking about the minimum that each kid gets.
Some.
What do you mean some?
Quarterbacks, they have remember we were talking about the pay scale for some?
Yeah, I said the scale. I say there's a minimum amount that each kid gets.
We don't know. We don't know.
Okay. That's what I'm asking.
We don't.
Okay.
We don't
know.
No, I don't know.
It's the Wild West.
Yeah. But I'm thinking everybody's getting paid, and talent dictates how much. I get that. But I'm thinking there's a minimum for kickers because they're not as valuable in the grand scheme of things. They're not that highly recruited. You get what I'm saying? Kickers and punters. But I'm assuming that they might make $10,000 a year. You get what I'm saying? On top of the scholarship, et cetera, which is why I said there's a threshold. There should be a threshold that if you make more than that, then you pay your own way. All your bills are yours. You get what I'm saying? So
I agree with that wholeheartedly. You're getting adult money. You can act like an adult and pay some bills.
Oh, they're getting rich people money. When it's over $100,000 a year, now you're in a whole other tax bracket.
So you want to be a big boy and play with big boy money, you can pay some bills.
Yeah.
And plus, I think that's also a good life lesson that can be added in with giving these kids this money. It's
And
a
they
little
should
bit
be
of financial responsibility because it puts the what am I looking for? Puts it back on them. Accountability. Puts the accountability on them. Hey, dog.
It's a scale on each position. No, we know about the pay scale, about how much the gaps from quarterback to say defensive lineman or linebacker.
I don't think every kid on the team's getting paid. I don't think there's a way that's possible.
It's a way it's possible. They're just not making the 6 digits, 5, 6, 7 digits. You get what I'm saying?
I get it. But again, if I'm a backup kicker, I doubt y'all are paying me to sit on the bench and maybe have to come do a kick once a season. You know, how often does a kicker get hurt for the season? It happens. It happens, but not often. All right, fellas. Well, let's go ahead and get into the NFL here.
No.
Skirting.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Did you want to discuss the Miami and Indiana?
I did. That's why I said skirt.
I skipped right over that. My bad.
Yeah.
All right. Well, as we know, there it is. Let him get ready. Boom! Miami and Indiana went up against each other in the 2026 College Football National Championship. 2025. Indiana came out the winner in Hard Rock Stadium. Skip, our resident Miami fan. Take it away, please, sir.
Shout out to Indiana Hoosiers. They played a damn near perfect football game on both sides of the football. They did what they set out to do. They did what they've been doing all year. There's no crying from me about, the refs didn't play a part in it. They did what they were supposed to do. Yeah, there was missed calls, but there was missed calls on both sides of the ball for both teams. So I'm not complaining about nothing. We lost that football game. No, I'm going to take it back. They won that football game. They beat us. Now, could we have won? Of course. Could we have done better? Of course. But that's hindsight. Those guys were prepared for Bain. They were prepared for, I can't say his name. And they got their sack. They got their pressures. But they were ready for it. To go for fourth down 2 times in one drive when they could have kicked the field goal the second time shows that the coach said, if we don't score here, we're going to lose this football game. That's his mindset, because kicking the field goal would have still put them in a position where they had to score a touchdown. But he knew as a head coach, we got to score this touchdown and put this pressure on them, because if we don't, we're going to lose. That's what that said to me going for it, not once, but twice on fourth down. The quarterback, shout out to you, brother. You deserve the number 1 pick and everything that comes with it. You played flawless football. Now, on the flip side, we have shown that our coach is coaching. Everything is working. Will that lead to us getting better talent with NIL? It's kind of hard. Yeah, we'll get it in the beginning, but what's to keep them? I'm thinking like what we just talked about earlier. These contracts, these NIL monies are going to have to stipulate 2 years, 3 years, whatever. You get what I'm saying? But that football game was a great football game. This man over here said, if Carson Beck's, y'all going to lose. And he Carson Beck.
That was me.
Oh, I'm sorry. He Carson Beck. He threw an interception. It was a horribly underthrown pass. If he threw it to where he should have, which is over the outside shoulder, it would have been a touchdown or an incompletion. One of the two. So is he ready for the NFL? No. Can he come and be a backup more than like Carson Beck? No. Looking at the underthrown passes, the missed wide open receivers that he missed in the game, and I'm not saying this is why we lost. I'm just talking about Carson Beck now. I don't think he's ready for the NFL. He has to go because he ain't got no more eligibility. I think he'll be a 4th, 5th round pick, maybe even later. But his name and what he's created with the UGA and now with UM is going to get him drafted. But I just don't see, unless barring injury, him playing in the next year to in the league. I just don't see it.
He's gonna go somewhere like New Orleans.
Well, again, none of us on this panel, even though Skip is our resident Miami fan, that we think Miami or Indiana, for that matter, was going to be in the national championship this year. And like you said, Don was stating they got 47 grad students on that team. This another thing with Indiana. Their coach, JMU.
Oh, we lost you.
We hear you.
Yeah, we got going on today.
The last thing you were saying before you froze there for a second was the coach Sonicki is Alabama. I think they would say Nick Saban disciple. There you go.
We got you.
Go ahead. Go. We hear you. We see you. Well, we lost him.
Oh, but anyway. Yes, he was an Alabama disciple. Skip, that story is actually kind of funny. Have you heard it before? Not funny, but a little out there. Kurt Signetti, there was a D3, D2 school, came to Alabama looking for some advice from Nick Saban on how to build a program. And then they looked and they said, well, you have anybody you'd recommend for the job? And Saban knew it was a dumpster fire program. So he said, no, I can't really think of anybody. Signetti jumped up and said, I'll take it.
Yeah, he left a D3 school, correct?
Yep. Well, he was a D3, then he went to James Madison, which I think that's still D1, I guess.
No, I think JMU, not in football. We see you. In football?
James Madison.
They're in football.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
They Division 1. They just got their butt whooped when they went up there.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah.
So okay. Yeah. Lower tier D1, but still D1. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you were saying, D, that Signetti, I think that's how you say his name, was a Nick Saban disciple.
Yeah, he basically, like I was saying, bringing his players over to Indiana, getting the quarterback from California to run his system. And like I said, a year before, we seen him when he won his first year in Cincinnati, went from nothing, from a basketball school, now they're a football school in between, and winning a national championship, showing that if you get your right system, the players that you need, that you coach, that you're familiar with, and you go somewhere, you can win. His test will come next year and years after.
Because they're going to fall off the mountain.
Yeah, because he already, the brother, Mendoza brother has transferred to Georgia Tech. They're losing players also, and things of that nature. So you will see, but this is what college football has come to now. You got boosters and people buying rosters. Ohio State had the highest paid roster a year before. Texas Tech had the highest roster this previous year, and we're gonna keep on seeing this as we go. So, like I said, it's just a free fall in college football.
And the one thing, the piggyback off what you said, Signetti had the luxury of having his players stay. A lot of these schools, the Ohio States, the Georgias, the everybody, the big schools, their players are leaving. They're jumping ship. So if everybody was to have the luxury of the player drafted or paid or whatever the case may be, they stayed at those schools, none of these schools would be in competition like they are now.
You know what's funny? When you say that, he came 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. And if he brought all his players from JMU,
he brought a bunch of them.
Why we didn't hear the negative?
Because Indiana was, who was Indiana?
No. Last season they made the playoffs, but everybody brushed it off as a Cinderella season.
What I'm saying
Everybody kept comparing it to the TCU year.
Yeah, so why we didn't hear the negativity about him bringing his players like somebody up there in Boulder?
Because somebody up there in Boulder had a name. Going into it, he had a name.
So that's what I'm saying. So that's why we're going to keep getting this free fall of players, the influx of players coming in and out of these universities. But go ahead, Kia.
All right. Well, now we will move into the NFL. Oh, yeah, by the way, ESPN already has the entire schedule for this college football season loaded up in the app. Usually they wait until like 2 weeks before the season. Whenever the top 25 list comes out, they usually put it out, but they've already got the schedule out.
Real quick, Don Hill, T9, you said don't forget about the 30% agency. No agent gets 30%, sir. They get between 3 and 5%. Nobody gets a third of anybody's contract. That's not true. And people are misconstruing that. It's between 3 and 5% of the contract. That's nobody's going to give you a third of the contract that they playing and bleeding for. Look it up.
I don't know. Shit, lawyers get 30%.
Lawyers get 30% of a lawsuit.
All right. Well, we had the AFC Championship game on Sunday at around 3 o'clock. And I think it went just about how everybody expected, a defensive matchup.
I picked the two losing teams.
But we went into it, you knew that it was going to be a defensive matchup. It wasn't going to be Jared Stidham for the Broncos out there airing the ball out, And so, we kind of knew what was going on from the jump. Kudos to that damn Denver defense, though. I mean, they played their freaking hearts out. And I was texting Abe, and I said, man, it's such a shame that no one wants to see Denver go to the Super Bowl anymore now that their quarterback is out. Because that defense, that's a championship defense that'll never get to give it a run. But the Patriots won that game 10-7. What are your thoughts, comments, and or concerns during this game?
The price and stature price. The stature and importance of a quarterback showed itself. Even though Bo is a rookie, he showed how important he is to that team's success. Lamar Jackson showed it every time he's injured. They pretty much go in the dumpster because the quarterback means a lot more than what we're giving them credit for. Now, somebody like Bo Nix, he didn't have the weight on his shoulders that somebody like Lamar Jackson had. But watching that offense play, they looked, I ain't gonna say looked lost. They looked like they were tiptoeing versus opening it up. This is it. You win or go home. And in my opinion, they didn't give this guy a chance to let him mess up. I mean, not let him mess up, but give him a chance to, test these guys on the outside. Maybe he ain't got a strong enough arm. I don't know. But that's the importance of a quarterback, man. That's what we saw. That's what I saw. Ready?
This is again a situation where you need a quarterback in place and when injuries take place. Now, don't get me wrong. I think the weather did a lot of stuff for both teams. And I had in my mind whoever got up was going to win this game because some of your play calling is not going to be able to be called because of weather conditions. Mm-hmm. If you can't establish the run, if you can't throw the football in this type of weather, even Denver had the chance and they missed the field goal. Now, mind you, it got tipped, but the weather had a lot to do with that also. So we seen a near tuck. I knew it was going to be a defensive struggle. And kudos, I picked the Pats, but I knew it was going to be defense all the way. But what really got me in this, the evil empire is back in the Super Bowl, and it didn't take them long to get back there. This is when you have a franchise that has a model, what they sticking by, and a coaching staff and able to develop the players they need to run the system they were running. There's a lot of teams that ain't even made it to the Super Bowl or even won in this 2000 type era. And the Patriots have been there, what we on, 7 times now?
No, this is the 11th time they've won. Remember, Brady won 10 times. He won.
I won 10
times. This is the 11th time.
11th time. I'm counting. Okay. I'm thinking about the ones they won. I'm sorry. But
they call it 10 because Brady's last one was with Tampa Bay. So they won.
Brady won 6 with them, and he lost 2 with the Giants. Yeah, Brady won 6 with them.
This is the 9th then.
2 to the Giants, and they lost to the Eagles. That's 3. They lost 3.
Well, they lost 3 then.
So then this is 10. This is 10.
That's 10. So that's what I'm saying. For a franchise to have this many from the time Robert Kraft took over that team is unprecedented. They even go, as we were stating, that's 10 times to get there, which is probably one of the hardest sports to get back and forth to championships. And they have been to multiple. They've been to back-to-back, and they have won back-to-back Super Bowls also. And they have a quarterback. I'm not comparing him to Brady, but they have a young model of what Brady was then. Don't turn the ball over. We run the ball. We play good defense. We win the game.
System football.
That's what they have in place. And I told you, they back to doing what they do. They can play whatever style football y'all want to play.
Robert Kraft has some very high up friends. That's all I'm gonna say.
Some what now?
Very high up friends.
As far as
That's all I'm gonna say, Skip. He has some very high up friends.
well, you will try to throw some controversy out there, won't you? But no, I think the fact that Vrabel learned and won up under Belichick, he's paid attention. Because if you think about it, like you said, D, this is not a Tom Brady football team, but this is a Belichick style football team. Belichick's team can play how you want to play. You ain't gonna make them play a certain way. They're gonna play exactly how I coached them to play, and that's what Vrabel is doing with this team. So shout out to him for coming in with a plan, implementing it, getting the right players in position, like what Belichick used to do when he would interchange wide receivers like it was nothing. He got tight ends. He got everything he needs to make it work. And shout out to him. We'll get into the picks later. But
and being the fact that whatever Josh McDaniel runs, he's the offensive coordinator. Vrabel is a defensive-minded head coach and defensive mind. But whatever Josh McDaniel sets up with New England, he tried to be a coach somewhere else, it didn't work out. But Josh McDaniels has a system in place that works. They identify whatever players they got, and they go after them. And this is what we get.
Right. And that's where the Belichick influence, in my opinion, is all over this football team. His handprints are all over it. He always had a badass offensive coordinator. What's his name that was winning with him in the beginning? Then he went and coached Notre Dame?
Charlie Weiss.
Charlie Weiss. Offensive genius. But then when he went to Notre Dame, it was you get what I'm saying? So some people are earmarked for certain positions, and when you realize that, a la Josh McDaniels, you go back to it and you succeed. Shanahan, same thing. You succeed at what you know. So just because you're a hell of an offensive coordinator don't mean you can be a hell of a coach. And I think that, like you said, New England's propensity to get their system in order and make it work is working wonders for them. But like Benson Parker said, I don't see them winning the big one.
We'll get to that.
All right, and we are going to move to the next game, which took place at 6:30. Let me tell y'all, I did not like the time slots. It should have been 4:25 and 8:20. I don't like this 3 o'clock and 6:30 bullshit they did. Well, it's just on Sundays, I try to be scheduled out, and I know when football. It's messing up my schedule. It's messing up my schedule.
Well, you know, it's a West Coast. It was a West Coast and a Mountain West time slide.
I know. It made sense for them. Either way, NFC Championship game. I'm just complaining tonight. I don't know what it is. NFC Championship game took place. We had the Rams that went to Seattle. God damn, what a game that was. I thought we were going to have another defensive matchup like we did in that first game because the Seahawks defense is ferocious. They were going up against the number one offense in the NFL. I thought this was going to be a very low-scoring game, and they just decided to turn the Jets on. Seahawks walk away with the win, 31-27. There was a list that came out after, and it showed there's one quarterback I'm going to be missing. One of y'all help me out here. It was 3 quarterbacks who were drafted in the same draft class as Sam Darnold, 2 of them being Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson, that have not reached a Super Bowl. I can't remember who the third one is, but they were just You got it? You know it? Oh, okay. Yeah, they were just saying how nobody expected Sam Darnold. He's been with multiple different teams, and he's having his year.
Right.
Go ahead.
You talk about Sam Darnold. I read a whole bunch of things online today. People were saying that the Minnesota Vikings are pissed because because Sam Darnold left them. But Minnesota didn't expect Sam Darnold to be as good as he was this year. That's why they said, JJ is our man. We're going to offer you this amount of money, even though you're worth this. So take it or leave it, as if he couldn't go nowhere else and succeed because of the position that they were in. They won 14 games last year, 14 or 15 games last year. And this year they won, 10-8 or 9-7, 9-8, whatever it was. And the only thing that changed was the quarterback. And all of the fans were saying, "Oh, he left us." No, y'all offered him a piss poor ass contract and pretty much relegated him to backup because JJ is our man. You don't just force feed somebody something and think it's going to work. And this is the experiment that backfired on. I'm not saying Sam Darnold all world quarterback, but look at what he did when he was there. I think that warranted him being the starter and then easing JJ in, but no. And I think they got exactly what they deserve. Mama, if you watching, I'm sorry about talking about your son team, but Ms. Grenner.
But this is again, I just stated, Sam Darnold, their coach identified when these quarterbacks was up for free agent, and he identified him. That's our man right there. They got DK off the team. He got rid of some of those hangover players from the
contracts. DK's contract
from Pete Carroll's Seattle team, and he brought in the players on that defense and on the offense because JSN is a monster at wide receiver. And I'm talking about another one of those Ohio State receivers, and what it is, they becoming wide receiver U because they people are coming into the league and they're performing. And again, I did not believe it, but that guy has redefined. He's been on several teams. They throwed him to the wayside. He was I think it was the number 2 pick in the draft, I believe, when he came out with the Jets. And again, this is the Jets fumbling talent and not putting people around certain players. He got shipped around. I think he got a cup of coffee with you guys. He got shipped around to Carolina and so forth. He's found a home. He got a contract, and he's performing. And none of us, again, thought this guy would be in the Super Bowl. You just didn't think this. But I will say this: the early odds had Seattle winning. I think this is we're gonna have a storyline here because we know what happened the last time they played. Different teams. It's not the Legion of Boom. It's the dark side. That's what they call themselves on their defense. And you got this going on. I think we will not have nobody throwing the ball on the 5-yard line this time.
They also don't have a beast mode in the backfield either. They don't have a beast mode. Now they got.
There was I don't know, Kenny Walker's
ain't no beast mode. Shut your ass up.
Beast mode, but he's carrying the ball.
Right, I can carry the ball. They had it to me. I said they ain't got no beast mode in the backfield.
He carried the ball well enough for his team to get to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
Either way, they had a meme going around today. It said that Pete Carroll had his worst year as a head coach ever in Oakland, and now for the next 3 weeks he has to watch that damn play be played on the TV 100 times a day.
And you know what's funny? Beast Mode was just on a show discussing that final play. This was last week, and he was saying how that one play changed the lives of everybody on that team. And things that transpired behind the scenes that we don't know about. But that team was never the same. I think that's when Pete Carroll lost his team at that time. I remember watching that game with my mother. Of course, we were watching that particular game. And I jumped up off the couch, Kev, and I said, F you, NFL. Because that's the first time ever I thought a game was rigged. Because you had no reason to not get that ball to and I go back and tell you, if they show you this game, Kev, you go back and watch it, anybody go back and watch it, they call timeout, Pete Carroll got on the phone. I've never seen the coach walk over there and get on the phone and say whatever was said to him, and they called the play. We know what it was. Whatever you do, don't get the ball that joker back there in the back.
They didn't want him to have the MVP because he wasn't the prototypical spokesperson. They knew he would, with all of that, I'm just here so I don't get fined stuff. We're not going to make him the MVP. He deserved it. If had they won, he would have gotten it. But if you give him this, yeah.
Marshawn Lynch is one of the best personalities to ever come out of the NFL.
And you know what's funny? Since that incident, he's on everything that has to do with the NFL. Ain't that something?
He's getting on all the like little Fox, game show
commercials
things
and everything.
too.
And it's funny how they treated him when he played, but you see him more representing football in the NFL than any other member from that Super Bowl winning team.
Maybe Gronk can give him a run on that. Gronk's in everything
I'm
too.
saying
Gronk wasn't on that team.
I'm saying
He was a Patriot.
I said Seattle's team.
The Seattle Seahawks, man.
Oh, I thought you just said who was in that game.
No,
Gronk was in that game. He's a national face.
But no, we talk about the Seahawks, man, and rightfully so. I think that was worse than the Boston Red Sox scandal back when they threw the World Series.
Now,
I would ever thought that beast mode wasn't going to get the football.
Now, do you believe Kev and Skip, will this Super Bowl be a low-rating Super Bowl because of the quarterbacks not being the main superstars?
Nope.
Will we get a
Super Bowl?
Will it be a high-rated Super Bowl? It's playing in your house in Santa Clara, so we shouldn't have no weather issues, so forth.
It won't be the highest watched Super Bowl ever, but it won't be the lowest. It's still the Super Bowl.
I think it'll get some good ratings.
It won't be the highest because it's not big Josh Allen and say Lamar Jackson against each other, but it's gonna be watched simply because it's a Super Bowl. That's just it.
I think it's gonna be a defensive battle, and again, whoever turned the ball over wins the game.
Nicky Manwari, Defensive Rookie of the Year.
It's amazing how you got that one name you harp on every time we say something like that.
Because I've been telling you all season long, the kid is gonna be a monster, and he's been a monster. Okay. I've been saying Defensive Rookie of the Year since about week 6.
Tap yourself on the back.
I already did.
Okay, well, quit saying Nicky Manwari. How about that?
Hey, because when it happens next week or 2 weeks, whenever they do it.
Okay, well, we'll say it until it happens.
Like that. Yeah, Kev, you have been saying that.
Say it until it happens. You did say it.
He has been saying it. I'm telling you. All right. Well, fellas, I texted Abe. I asked him his pick. He's going with the Seahawks for this. It kind of seems like we all are. Skip, are you taking the Seahawks?
Yeah, man. By 10.
By 10?
Yeah. The way they whooped us, and this is not me making an excuse. We were missing all our core players. All of them. All our core offensive players. McCaffrey, once he got hurt, there was nothing else. Kittle was already gone. Then we missed the two killers on defense. But the way they whooped us, that's what you do. You step on the throat. You don't, I'm gonna get a 10-point lead and start running the football. No, you step on their neck. And that attitude right there is why I give them, say they're gonna win by 10. I think they're gonna win by 10.
I think again, I'm picking Seattle, but I think the quarterback play will be very crucial in this game. Like I say, Drake May. If he wins, he will submit his legacy. I ain't saying Hall of Fame, but up there in their little area, you know what I'm saying? Because last year there was a bunch of question marks, even when he got drafted, him being drafted that high over certain players and so forth and so on. But Drake May will see a hellacious defense coming at him the whole game. If you think Denver was one, Seattle is 10 times worse.
Yeah, at all positions. That's what I like about it. They're not lacking nowhere. They ain't got no big crazy standouts. That you just got to stay away from him. You got to pick your poison with them, and that's why I say 10 points.
Done.
VP race. What?
He's
He touched the football more than anybody in the NFL but quarterbacks.
He led a lot of categories in certain things. He got, I want to say, 2,000 all-purpose yards from scrimmage.
Yes.
He led,
and he touched the football more than anybody in the backfield, period, outside of the quarterbacks.
And he led the team in receptions and rushing for that particular team. You take him off that team, nowhere to be found. So he's in the running. He's in the running for MVP. He's going to get comeback player of the year. He will get that one. And offensive player of the year. So he's up for 3 categories.
All right, fellas.
Who your team, Don? Who's your team?
He a Cowboy fan.
I want him to type it.
I'm
telling you.
I want him to type it in the chat. Yeah, or you know I'm going to get it.
Well, we're about to mention the Cowboys here in just a second. Not really in regards to the Cowboys, but what's being picked up that used to be the Cowboys. Mike McCarthy will now be the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Him and Aaron Rodgers will be united. What do we think of this hire?
This is interesting. Now, this is a fun fact. Mike McCarthy is going to go down as the only head coach to coach the hierarchy of franchises in the NFL. The Steelers, Green Bay Packers, and the Cowboys. It's no other coach. I think who we had, Big Tuna, he coached some, he coached the Cowboys,
the Jets. Hold on. Yeah, he coached
the Jets and the Pats. That's what he coached.
Right.
But I'm talking about these 2 blue blood, top of the line Super Bowl winning franchise, the Green Bay, the Cowboys, whatever. It's the first time they've went. He's older than Mike Tomlin, I believe. I don't understand. He's 68 years old, if I got that correct.
Somewhere around it.
Yeah, he's over 60. I don't understand what this is. Are we trying to have one hurrah left with him and Aaron Rodgers? The team has already said they are welcoming back. They will take Aaron Rodgers back. Now, they got rid of Arthur Smith because Arthur Smith has went up to Ohio State. I don't know why.
Terrible.
I don't know why. I don't know why, but this is interesting. The guy doesn't have a bad record, but he hasn't won nothing since that Super Bowl with Green Bay. Of course, he was on Kev's squad. He did have a winning record with Kev's Cowboys, but he couldn't get over the hump. So, interesting. Go ahead.
This is what I think is going to happen in Pittsburgh. The defense is pretty much in place. They've always been known for that. Awful. I think with Aaron Rodgers in place, Mike McCarthy knows how to cater to him. Aaron made his name under McCarthy. We get that. But I think now he's going to focus more on what they need for Aaron to succeed or fail. But I think it's going to be, let's put this person here. Let's get these type of players, and we're going to see a different Philadelphia. We're going to see a different Pittsburgh team. That's my opinion. Why they brought Mike in, familiarity versus just we need a big name head coach, because Pittsburgh ain't never been about the big name head coaches. They've been about consistent head coaches. And like you said, he didn't lose in Dallas. He just didn't win in Dallas.
I'm going to make a prediction that Nathaniel Hackett comes to coach in Pittsburgh.
They always run with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Nathaniel
Hackett, Mike McCarthy, and Aaron Rodgers won a Super Bowl together.
Yeah.
They tried it again at the Jets. And, of course, that's the Jets. So now that Aaron's guy is the head coach again, I think he's going to tell him to bring back Nathaniel Hackett.
For the life of me, man, names just, when I think about talking about something, their names just jump out of my head. Who was the coach of the Miami Dolphins that got fired?
McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel.
Is a hell of a offensive mind.
Yeah.
Why is he not even being mentioned in these head coaching jobs?
He been interviewing, but he turned down the Browns interview. He just said, I
don't get that. Why?
He's kind of cocky a little bit.
Hell of a defense, and you got an offense that can be molded.
Well, you got to think, Skip. It depends on what he wants to run and what he wants to change about the team.
Gotcha.
You got to think about it. When these people go on these interviews, you got to see if the GM or the players can gel with him. This for like Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy, at the end of the day, he's going to garner respect for some of them veterans.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? He's won. He has a resume, and he has a Super Bowl ring. Ain't nobody on that roster but Aaron Rodgers that got a ring. I think if the defensive tackle, I don't know how long he was there, but he's the other old statesman. I can't remember he does or don't, but yeah. So there you go. We got a question.
Also, stop that old stuff. We see about age only means certain things with certain people.
Kent had a question.
Who's going to win the MVP? Ooh. It ain't gonna be Josh Allen. I bet you that.
Stafford.
I'm going with Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, it's gonna be Stafford.
Because the two that
even with the loss last night, he threw for 354.
Yeah, the two that was in the running with Drake May and Matthew Stafford. So I do believe Matthew Stafford. Because the last couple of games Drake May has played, they have been like, ugh.
Yeah. Then Stafford's still balling out.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt Stafford.
And being, honestly, outside that fumble punt, we might be talking about something else.
See the Cowboy fan. Keep on now. But you want to take shots.
Oh, that's too funny.
Know how to get on the Cowboys. Leave me alone.
Let me roll into this here. Again, we're going to mention the Cowboys as we roll into this next topic. What Buffalo just did, firing Sean McDermott, is going to have the same effect that Jerry Jones firing Jimmy Johnson had in Dallas.
I'm going to give you some pushback.
All right, no pushback. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm going to give you some pushback on that.
Go.
The difference, I'm going to agree with you, but the difference is your team had won Super Bowls. Buffalo ain't won nothing. Now we seeing another loose video footage of someone talking about a player as a GM. How can you trust anybody want to go there and coach after you see what they put out on a player that they drafted? You know what I'm saying? I just seen reports the agent is going to sit down so they can get their kid up out of there because there's no reason for Keon Coleman, the wide receiver that they drafted. They get him up out of there, get him a fresh start. And again, for you to 2 weeks prior to fire the coach because he comes in the office and says, I need some more players before the trade deadline because this is not a winning Super Bowl team. And as we see, they put it all on him. We have not brought up the fact that the quarterback choked, and in the games they lose, what does he be doing, Skip? I tell it all the time. He turns the ball over multiple times. Multiple times.
Game, didn't he?
Huh?
He had 5 in that game he lost.
They had 5 total, I believe, because they had 5. Yeah. So at the end of the day, nobody speaks of this.
Of course
you get rid of a coach. You get rid of a coach that has won over 70% of his games since he's been there. You didn't have a coach before he got there, since Marv Levy, if you want to go way back then, but you ain't really had nothing.
Marv Levy had some mean talent on his team, though.
And they didn't win nothing. So at the end of the day.
Oh, the Niners player. But anyway, another story.
They didn't win nothing, but here you go again. This is what we do. It'll be hard pressed for anybody to take that job. And as you see, they're interviewing people, but it's getting close. The Senior Bowl is going on. They practice now. You got to have somebody in place.
Watch this. This is where Mike McDaniel can land. And
his problem was the cold, though. His problem in Miami was when he played when his team went and played in the cold.
But he has a cold. This is a cold weather team. He
never had a quarterback like this either.
So he's going to a team that really needs direction. If they don't get an offensive-minded head coach, like Kev said, they might as well close their eyes and jump off the cliff head first, because that's what's going to happen. This golden child that they think they got, that was given MVP last year when he definitely should not have won it, it's gonna cost them an arm and didn't he just recently sign a huge contract?
But he did that not last
like 2 years ago.
Okay. But no, I'm with you, Kev, 100%. You fired a coach that's doing his job. All he can do is put you in position to win, and damn if they weren't in that position all the time. And the reason they've been losing is what you say, D. What's that word?
turnovers.
It ain't the coach don't turn the ball over.
Mm.
The coach don't make stupid mistakes that a franchise type quarterback like Josh Allen has been making. He's making Brock Purdy type mistakes, 7th-round draft pick type mistakes.
And again, 5-year window, ladies and gentlemen. Go back and count how many years Josh Allen has been in the league. That's my thing. You got 5 years to get your team in place and get what you got to go on to win a Super Bowl. Just one, not multiple, just one.
This was their year. Let everybody tell it.
What before I go into our last topic of the night here, I'm going to ask D, what do you think of the Dallas defensive coordinator hire since Christian Parker was from the Eagles?
I think it's interesting when these teams start picking coaches off of teams and giving them opportunities. I'm trying to figure out what are you looking at, and do you have the personnel to run whatever you try to run with that team? That means he's got to come in and overhaul some of your players. Now, you got some pieces, but that secondary got to be reworked. Your linebacking core got to be reworked. And what is his outlook? I'm not mad at the guy getting hired and getting the opportunity. Not at all. And it's just going to be interesting with another storyline between our two franchises where you got, you know what I'm saying? We had Kellen Moore.
Stuff.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And this is what teams do. They start picking coaches because they know they got to beat that team in front of them.
But now, aren't y'all salary strapped?
No, we're good. The Eagles are screwed. We're fine.
I ain't talking about the Eagles. I'm talking about the Cowboys now.
Cowboys are fine. We got we opened up a lot with Micah. We restructured Dak and CD, and I think
so y'all got 15, 20 million to play with.
Oh yeah, and we got rid of Diggs to save like another 13 or something.
Okay, done deal. See, this is the part where if somebody would, like when you go to 49ers, we had nothing to play with, no nothing to bring nobody in. He has some leeway to say, you know what, we got to go get us a linebacker first.
Remember, we got 2 first-round picks as well.
What I'm saying is he has some wiggle room here. He ain't got to come in and say, oh boy, we got to depend solely on the draft. You get what I'm saying? So this will give him a chance to make his name versus coming into a pretty much a team that's going to make the playoffs if they're coached correctly. But we should have got some of Diggs. No, you shouldn't have. You should have got more for the linebacker. What is number 11? That's what you should have did. But yeah. But I think that now he's going to have something where he's going to have working capital. He got 2 draft picks, like you said. He got 15 to 20 million to play with, to dangle in somebody's face to get them in there to reinforce what's already there. Your quarterback, your receivers, I think you don't need to touch that. You might need to do a little different with the offense, but he has something to work with. And that, like he said, he has an opportunity to make a name for himself in the most popular franchise on the planet.
Right. I'm not too mad at the hire. I mean, hey, I know some folks that sat on this show a year ago and said that our head coach was a lame duck hire and a terrible defense.
Me?
It was no.
Oh, no, I was kidding. I was campaigning back to win MVP at one time.
I tell you what, you got 2 years with him. You're gonna be asking for his job.
He will in a minute.
Now I got one more question for you, D. What are the situations with your secondary contracts? I wouldn't be surprised if somebody came over from Philly to Dallas.
Right now, the Kobe Dean situation, we got some stuff we got to work out with. So everybody know AJ Brown ain't going nowhere. It's a $40 million clip. There's somebody gonna take over that and whatever. I think they'll get that situated because we still got to get our offensive coordinator.
Dumbass Steve be stupid enough to do it.
But it's a lot. We got to work out. It's not a lot of main players. Some of them we can restructure because we got picks and so forth. But we got the best GM in the business, so I ain't worried about it.
You know what, Don? For you to be a Cowboy fan, dog, I can only take what you say with a grain of salt.
He telling the truth.
Well, hold on. I said that. I text y'all that man was a cancer. But the defensive backfield ain't got to go. They just got to be coached up. Different play styles, man. That's what that is. They're not bad players. I think they're not put in position to succeed.
I think hang on real quick, D. We already know that it's just something about the Diggs boys where they like to be in the spotlight for dumb shit. Now, with him, he's been hurt 2 of the last 3 years with being out most of the season in those two seasons. And then he's out again this season with a random concussion that he said he got from a TV. He tried to mount a TV and it fell on his head. Then we find out the boy got knocked out with a fucking stripper pole. Excuse my language, D. I'm sorry. He knocked himself out with a damn stripper pole because he was out doing some stuff he shouldn't have been doing. Then after the Washington game, he says, "Hey, it's Christmas. Can I just stay here?" And the coach said, "No, get on the plane with everybody else." And he stayed anyways. So I think one reason that we didn't get much for him or didn't really care to was we just wanted him gone. And maybe the team just said, "You know what? Get off." Exactly, Skip. Go ahead. You got it. Go do your thing. He went to Green Bay. Green Bay cut his ass after they lost. The first play he was in the game for Green Bay. First play of that playoff game for Green Bay. He fell down. Fucking thing went for a touchdown.
That's a fact.
That's terrible.
He ain't got it no more.
Without reunited.
This is one of Dallas's biggest mistakes. When Dan Quinn left to go to the Commanders, Al Harris should have been promoted to our
that is a fact. And this is why I believe him going to snatch this guy off the Eagles team. This is what I'm saying. He's a Vic Fangio disciple. So you trying to get to model what?
No, what Mama said up there. What Mama said up there.
We'll never win nothing. We've already won 5.
Okay, Mama, tell him.
So at the end of the day,
my God, Mama.
Who is her team? Who is her team?
Hold on. Mama, type your team in the chat. You got to give us that now. Don't say nothing, D. Type your team in the chat, Mama.
I'm not.
I'm gonna guess you're a Falcons fan.
She's not.
Well, no, because I know where you're from. Saints.
Who? I'm not from New Orleans, fool.
I thought y'all were from Louisiana.
No, we born and raised in Atlanta. My dad is from New Orleans with the family.
Okay, see, I don't know the family tree, player. I didn't Ancestry.com. Damn. I know he was real, but he talked about Louisiana.
Mama said, "Call Emmett." God, leave Mama leave.
I still don't see her team up here.
Mama, put your team up there, Mama.
While she's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and get us started on UFC here.
Yes, because Kev, I watched it because we were trying to figure out what Paramount.
Oh, that is.
There you go.
AGLES. Eagle.
Was Paramount going to let us see the UFC for free? Kev, I got to tell you, Skip, they let us watch it for free. I thought it was just a pre-main.
I saw it.
And I watched this from beginning to end. Go ahead, Kev.
Well, just a real quick thing. Yes, nobody really knew if it was going to be just like, let me load up Paramount, pay my little subscription, and I can watch it. And I was actually interested. There was a question afterwards to Dana White where they said, a lot of people have been complaining about the ads. There were a shit ton of ads. I have to, yes, even in between rounds, and we're not usually used to that in UFC. But Dana White said, well, it was the first time. We're still working some things out. But shit, it's $8.99.
And watch this. If they take away the ads, they're gonna start charging us for it.
And that's what he said. He said it's $8.99, and it's Paramount's decision. That's at the end of the day.
But as we got later on in the money rounds, it wasn't that many ads, was it?
No, they start cutting it off.
Yeah,
probably, I think
that's what I thought.
But just like a Super Bowl commercial, them ads cost.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Maybe not as much as what a Super Bowl commercial costs, but to be on the UFC on Paramount, you got to pay to be for those time slots. So I'm quite sure they made a pretty good clip.
And here's one thing I didn't like, and it has to do with the ads. There's always been advertisements on the Octagon, always. But now, and like Dana White has his own whiskey called Howlerhead. You would see the little monkey symbol everywhere. It was in like 4 or 5 different places. Now every single piece of that Octagon is sold out. Is ad space now. It used to do, it was a lot of. There was a couple ads here and there. You probably had about 10 all around the ring. Now the entire Octagon, all 8 corners, are bought out.
Yeah, because it's going to touch a lot more people. It's going to reach a lot more people now than what it did when it was pay-per-view.
It is why. I mean, this ring post would be one. The crossbar is another ad. Then coming back down here, it's another ad. Like it was the entire fucking Octagon had been sold.
Well, you got to think in our line of business, and this gentleman here, you got to think about it now. It's being shown basically for free because on my cable, I get it for free. So
they're going to get a lot more viewership.
You're going to get a lot more sponsorship because now people ain't got to pay for that TV time. You see what I'm saying?
Eyeballs.
I can get, now you got a lot of eyeballs on whatever it is, and then depending on what city or country that they are in.
This UFC is watched around the world every time, every week.
And more so in the other countries,
mm-hmm.
like England and
Brazil,
Australia, and places like that, where they actually fist fight still. Mm-hmm. The game fist fight versus shooting each other. Yeah,
that's because guns are banned.
But they still get to it. I couldn't live over there because I ain't going to get my butt whooped by those 30 people.
They do that and they stab. They have a real bad problem with people stabbing. They have serial stabbings over there.
Yeah, but
they can't have guns like that.
Right here. I'm gonna leave these people alone and I'll be just fine. I'm gonna talk trash.
Right to these bare arms, baby. All right. I'm gonna start us here at the fight that I really cared about, which was the fight before the co-main event. So the third fight on the card, it fell right in the middle of the card. Waldo Cortez Acosta went up against Derek Lewis. My balls was hot. Derek Lewis.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. Derek, why'd you take your pants off after the fight? My balls was hot.
My balls was hot.
My balls was hot. He made a lot of money off that phrase.
My wife.
He got in trouble with his wife because he said something about wanting to sleep with Ronda Rousey in an interview because he beat the shit out of Ronda Rousey's husband after he beat the shit out of her. Yeah. He called him out. They had a fight set up, blah, blah, blah. Derek Lewis won. Either way, Derek Lewis did not come away victorious in this fight. It was a weird ending, man. Derek Lewis was going towards him. He swung and he tripped. And when he fell backwards, he just kind of like, hey. He thought that Waldo Acosta was going to, just like let him get up. And that's a powerhouse, this dude. He came down there and he knocked him square in the head.
Yeah, that's the only ending that I missed. It was like I did something and I turned around. I seen the guy raising his hand. And I'm like, what the hell happened?
Derek Lewis tripped. And it was just this slow fall where he almost looked like he was expecting his opponent to either jump on top and grapple him or let him up. So he just kind of laid there. He just kind of dead bugged in the ring.
Oh.
And the dude came down and he got him. Derek Lewis turned over and he was just hitting. I mean, he just boom. There's nothing he could do. Because the guy he was fighting had some heavy hands.
Yeah.
Heavy hands. But also Derek Lewis is 40 and it showed. Yeah. He looked 40 out there. It might be time for him to hang it up. He looked 40 in that ring.
Let's get cause he gonna get brain damage if he don't.
Yeah. All right. Moving to the co-main event was the Sugar Show. Sugar Sean O'Malley went up against Song Yadong. Yes, that is a real name, Song Yadong. Went all 5 rounds, great fight. O'Malley broke his 2-fight losing streak and took away the victory. I'm sure he will get a title fight here soon. He might have to fight one more. But, yeah.
He, in my opinion, look like it's catching up with him, Kev. You can tell he's matured because he looks older compared to when we seen him when he was young, and it looked like he's more methodical with his fighting. He's not just running and jumping. He did a couple of things for it to go 5 rounds, but if he gets in there with a younger cat with a little more oomph, he might get himself in some trouble.
I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's exactly what's going to happen to him. His old flamboyant self is gone. And I was flipping back and forth between when they fought. But what I saw was this other guy wasn't uber aggressive like somebody in that weight class normally is. You know what I mean? Like he was waiting on O'Malley to come to him versus, you know what? Let me go ahead and nullify anything you want to do. Now you got to fight me off. Versus,
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So I think these champions, and I don't know those guys' names and all of that, but I think if he gets in there with a fighter that has a set of hands and is aggressive with it, he in trouble. I think he'll be in trouble.
Well, and even in those last 2 fights, his last 2 losses to Marab over the title, it was just because he can't go to the ground. And it showed in this fight too, where he would get taken down, and I mean, he would look over in his corner and throw his hands up. That happened 2 or 3 times while he was on the ground. And
see, that's what I said. That's what I meant by if somebody has some hands, to where you ain't got no alternative now but to defend these hands, and I'm in your face. I'm not letting you set up your offense. I'm making you, like in chess, I'm making you play defense to win, and he ain't got it in him, in my opinion.
All right. Well, the main event. Oh, this was a hard one for me to choose. Justin Gaethje went up against the undefeated Patty the Batty Pimblett. And, you know, I wanted Patty to win this fight. I just think Patty is one of the funniest. That Australian shit where he calls people a sausage, I've never heard that be used as an insult. But the way he says it, I get offended when he says it.
And I'm glad he got his ass bust up. Because
this was a bloodbath.
He got busted up. I'm glad.
He got busted up, but he held his own.
I didn't say he didn't fight. But when you do that, that's a McGregor type attitude. You're trying to take what McGregor did and make it your own. Let McGregor, stay in your lane. Once McGregor started getting his ass whooped, it was a landslide. Everybody started whooping his ass because now we know what to do to beat him. You could take him into deep waters. It was proven he ain't got no way in McGregor. So you doing all this talking, you did more talking you did fighting, I think.
No, Skip, you're dead wrong on this one, buddy. Okay. You were dead wrong here. Patty might have been talking that shit, but he's backed it up in every fight. This is his first fight that has been past 3 rounds. He talks shit, and then he comes in there and knocks you out. This kid's like, I don't remember what his record in the UFC is. He's 23-4 throughout his career, but I want to say he's had like 10 fights in the UFC now, and they've all been pretty big names the last 5. This was for a title. This was for an interim lightweight championship. But here's the thing. Justin Gaethje had 148 significant strikes in that fight. Patty had 135. This was not nobody swing. These two were hitting each other in the face the entire 25 minutes.
Here you go, Kev. Total strikes. Justin had 200. He had 200 total strikes of 313, and Patty had 170 of 326. So he threw more, landed less. Significant strikes. Patty had 156 of 311, and Justin had 144 of 254. Head strikes, Justin had 120, Patty only had 83. And I think that's where the fight was won. He was tagging him, and they were considered significant
Look at the body shots and the kicks.
Body shots. Justin had 15 of 21. Patty had 48 of 63.
What about the kicks?
Legs, you mean? Oh, leg strikes. Justin had 9 of 11, and Patty had 25 of 27.
So he wasn't punching him as much, but he's beating up his body, which is that's what they tell you to do in fighting. Everybody wants that knockout, punch somebody in the nose and knock them out, but you hurt the body, you hurt everything else.
And Patty didn't have no takedowns. 0 of 5 for takedowns.
Yeah.
And Justin had 3. He was 3 for 3 on his takedowns.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that might have been outside of the blood, in my opinion, that might have been the swing of the decision because of the takedown compared
and the headshot.
Because you got to think about it. They get points for them takedowns. And
the headshots would even out because of the leg and body shots being. So that's you wash that basically. Now it comes down to the technicalities.
Yeah, because
he had 0 takedowns, but he got taken down 3 times.
Talk about 40 more headshots on one side than the other. From 120 to 83, that's 37. Mm-hmm. So he had 37 more significant headshots, significant strikes.
But
Patty had 30 more significant kicks.
Yeah, see,
that's punches to the body.
16 more. I get what you're saying. You're right. I'm not arguing that point. But what I'm saying is, what's more impactful, a headshot or a leg kick?
I've seen fights end in all 3 of those scenarios.
No. I know it. We've seen kidney punches in fights, all of that. I'm not disputing none of that. But what would you like to see as a judge? What are you going to judge more, the leg kick or the headshot?
If I kick a hole through your leg, if I kick your leg so hard it snaps your femur, versus if I just hit you in the right spot on the temple, the right spot on the nose, where you get knocked out. I don't know. I'm not a UFC judge, but I'm sure they all 3.
We're just talking. I'm not disputing nothing you're saying because you're the resident UFC guy.
I think all of that is situational.
Okay.
If you won the fight by knockout, or if it was a fight like that where y'all were just sitting here punching each other in the face the whole time, okay, I gotta judge that. But when you got a fight where one guy was throwing hands and the other guy was throwing feet and knees and elbows, I don't know. Either way, Patty, at the end of the day, Patty looked, no matter how indeed you hit it right on the head. The damage is a big factor.
Yes.
Yeah. We went 25 rounds. Your face is busted up. Yeah, you didn't get knocked out, but dude, look at you.
25 minutes, not 25 rounds.
25 minutes. I'm sorry. Yes, 25 minutes.
25 rounds.
But again,
I couldn't imagine getting hit 148 times.
The judge, like you say, judging it, you got to count all hits in this realm of fighting. You got to count. I don't care if they kick in or whatever. If it's a clean shot, because their leg kick is like a jab in boxing.
Hell yeah.
So
worse than a jab.
Yeah. So you gotta. And when I found that out, when you see a joker tapping that leg and joker,
you gonna move that motherfucker.
So when I figured that was their jab, I was like, oh, that's why you kicking this man in the leg. I get it. I get it.
But that's a foundation killer too.
That's what I'm gonna say. It stops the power that you coming with them hands. But if we would have not seen this fight, and let's say for the sake of argument, they would have gave it to Patty, you would have been looking at like, let me see the other guy if he won. Because the way he had I'm talking about blood gushing everywhere. Kudos to his cut man over there in the corner because they did the best job they could do. But he took an ass whooping.
But that's the 40 more shots to the head than what he threw. You get what I'm saying? So, I mean, than what he took. Because he threw.
And this is our first fight of the year, right, Kia?
Yes, and we actually have a double pay-per-view going on here. This weekend, we will also have a pay-per-view and title fight.
Yeah, because
I'm sorry. Yes,
it's UFC.
UFC's having another pay. They're doing back-to-back pay-per-views, or I guess not pay-per-view, but 2 back-to-back numbered events. That's what they call them. The numbered events.
This is, like I said, in a long time we haven't seen it because usually in these main event fights we don't get to see nobody getting beat up and busted. And this is what we got for the beginning of the year. So they put the right people in there. Every time whoever is the favorite or whoever we think gonna win, they either getting their ass whooped or something freaky is happening.
John Jones made a post. I want to say it was last week or maybe earlier this week, where he was calling out
Pereira.
Pereira, yeah. And everybody was saying, "Oh, you need to fight the young boy." I don't blame John for not fighting that young cat. Now, is there enough money to make him fight? Of course. Does he need to? No, because I think what he'll do is that unbeaten streak will go to the wayside if he get in there with that young man. I just think age now is what'll cause him to lose versus skill. What do you think about that, yeah?
Look, I get it. I think you're spot on with that. I think he knows that he'll lose that fight, so he doesn't want to tarnish his legacy. But at the same time, I don't know, man.
He has nothing to gain from it.
He has nothing to gain from it.
And everything to lose.
But if he's going to continue fighting, he needs to take the fights that are going to sell. No one wants to see him go fight Sean Strickland.
Hold on. And this is where I combat what you're saying. People paid to see Floyd Mayweather lose. They didn't pay to see him win. They paid to see him lose. And every time John gets in the ring, people are paying to see him lose.
But if he's fighting someone that we all know he's going to beat, they're
going to pay to see him. It don't take but one punch. You said it. All it takes is one punch or one kick.
You're right.
That will be a money fight. It's going to be a lot to get that done. But
for the young guy, or for Carrera?
No, the young guy going to fight.
Oh.
I mean, I'm talking about for John. I mean, we don't know if we're going to get this UFC up there, the house up there.
Oh, it's already confirmed. Joe Rogan said it the other day to a fighter. He said, or I think a fighter told him, he said, yeah, I want to fight on the White House pay-per-view.
So if that's the case, that'll be, if they can, that'll be something, because it'd be unprecedented if that happens. But again, he has nothing to prove.
Yeah, I don't. There's enough money, but I don't think it's worth it to him. It's not like he's broke. It's not like he got something to prove. You don't put everything on the line and you're not at your peak self, in my honest estimate or guess, for John Jones.
If that is true, then I believe him continuing to fight tarnishes his career. If you're not going to come out, if you have nothing to lose and nothing to gain, and you just come out and do rinky-dink fights, I think that hurts your career.
So fighting Carrera again would be rinky-dink?
We've already seen it.
The question was, would it be considered a rinky-dink fight?
I think so.
Okay, cool. And the one thing about that is your career is based on your stats. Damn what people think about you, because like in wrestling, somebody got to be the heel, somebody got to be the good guy. Right? So the feelings don't play into Hall of Fame or all of that good stuff. Is stats. And he is undefeated.
When was that fight?
You can equivalent that to like when Roy Jones fought Tarver. Remember, he beat Tarver when he was younger, and then Tarver beat him later on. And
well, that was a fluke knockout. I don't care what nobody say.
But I'm saying,
Jesus.
But what I'm saying is, he had already fought Antonio Tarver.
Did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah, he had beat him long time ago. And then,
well, he was up and coming in when.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to think that's what we are equivalent this to.
But the difference is, Raw was fighting everybody. What Raw was ducking no wreck from nobody. If you was in the top 5, he fought you.
Yeah, but I'm saying I'm just comparing the two.
Okay.
Because if Kev is saying they already fought, John Jones beat him, whatever. Now you talking about let's fight again. What John Jones has to prove at this stage in his career compared to what Pereira is doing? We know he's the apex predator right now. Pereira, that's what I'm saying. We know who John Jones is, but Pereira's the one that's, you might as well say, outside of John Jones, Kev, correct me if I'm wrong, is he one of the faces of the UFC?
Oh, Pereira is one of the baddest men walking this planet right now.
There you go.
But they haven't fought. I'm sorry. I thought you said Pereira.
Okay, well, there you go.
They've
so that
never
means
fought.
Pereira is coming up to that level to fight him,
What,
right?
a young cat?
Yeah, the young cat.
Oh
I
no,
wouldn't call him young. I mean, he had a kickboxing career forever.
Yeah. But I'm saying he'll be coming up in how much? 25,
Yeah,
25
probably
pounds
25,
of
30.
weight? 30
25,
pounds of weight?
30. Yeah, he's coming up a lot.
I was going to say 50, but...
But now watch this. People kill me with this going up in weight is a distraction or it's a hindrance because your boy just proved going up them 10, 15, 20 pounds. He beat the hell out of Canelo. Crawford, didn't he? What, he had to go up 25 pounds?
Yeah, but
that's a
little different.
As somebody who works out, everyone's body is different. Some people's body can handle it. You get one, and that just comes down to having good genetics. That's nothing you can control. That's a lottery.
Well, hold on. That's nothing you can control as a bodybuilder. These guys cut weight and put on weight like it's nothing. When they stop working out, like what's his name? The white guy Floyd Mayweather fought. He walked around at 215, 210. The little English guy that there's only one, Ricky Hatton.
Ricky
Hatton was a fat dude until he got back in the ring and gym and worked out and got back down to 147. He walked around at 200 pounds. So what I'm saying is when people say he got to gain all this weight, no, if you can get in shape, in the shape that boxers get in, and work out with that weight and not worry about cutting it, but just getting in physical shape. Again, Crawford proved that it can work if you have the skills to go along with it. That's all.
Cutting weight is one thing. Gaining weight, whole different ball game, because the quickest way to kill muscle building is cardio. And that's all these boxers are doing is cardio. So they can go eat enough and train enough to put on 15, 20 pounds of muscle. If they got to come up 30 pounds, that can't be 30 pounds of fat. Putting on that muscle, the way that they're having to eat and gorge themselves to get the weight, but then they go into the gym and they do cardio, terrible for the body. And that's why you see some it works for. Again, that's genetics.
Oh, okay. I'm just improving.
It can be done. Yeah, anything can be done. But you got to think of how many people are in the sport. Maybe if there's 100 people in the sport, maybe 2 have the ability to do that.
And you're correct. And you are correct.
So, well, all right, y'all, that is pretty much it.
So we all pick Seattle versus football, right?
Yeah, we all pick Seattle.
I got one before we do whatever. Shedeur Sanders is going to the Pro Bowl.
I saw that. Whether it's a backup or whether it's people pull it out because they just didn't want to play in it, it don't matter. It's on his resume. And I hate it for him because of all the vitriol that's going to come behind it. And there's what, 80 people on one football team, 53 travel players, and then the practice squad and all of that. So we're looking at 53 times 32, 1,500-ish. And he got chosen over all these other quarterbacks.
Well,
that's yeah.
But I mean, being an alternate, regardless, Cam Ward is. So when everybody want to bring up Cam Ward is injured. He got to get some stuff cleaned out. But interesting. I think it's a marketing ploy also.
Definitely.
But the Pro Bowl ain't like it was because they're not playing. So they just need they need a quarterback to do whatever they need to do in whatever little skills competition or whatever they got going on. So it's good for the young man. He'll get some work and he'll get to be around some other professionals and so forth and so on.
And I wish somebody could be a fly on the wall and listen to all of these general managers and everything that's going to talk to this kid and tell this kid, man, I would have drafted you, but.
I agree. I agree with what Don is saying. And you, Skip, they have watered down the all-stars outside of baseball. The basketball and the football, in my opinion, has gotten watered down.
But now watch this. In football, it's completely understandable. There could be a life-changing injury in any play on the football field. Not so much in baseball. Basketball, I get it, Achilles or twist ankle, but in football, your life could end or your career could end on every single snap. We've seen Achilles pop when they're just running routes. It could be from lack of stretching. It could be from it was just going to happen. Linemen tearing their ACLs from blocking, getting thrown to the side or whatever. So I get it for football. But you still have to perform in order to get those awards that don't matter. That's all.
I stick to what I said last season. Make it interesting. Do the could have been bowl. You know, the could have been bowl this year would have been Denver and the Rams. Do that. Scrap this Pro Bowl bullshit or pro game stuff. Nobody cares anymore. Ever since they had the Diggs brothers switching sides, running routes against each other, it was like, all right, this is a joke. So, all right. Last take. Skip. Hit me. What? I know. I'm taking digs at the Diggs brothers tonight. I know.
Okay.
It wasn't intentional, but that's just what I remember. That's the year it became a joke.
Okay. I guess. They should do more skills competitions like they used to do. Longest football throw, deep routes, stuff like that.
Bring back the 225 press.
Nah, I wouldn't do that.
What?
Hell no. You know the muscles you could tear playing around with weight like that, trying to prove you strong? You do that at the combine. No, Kev, I think that's a really bad idea. And what they get the gain from that? A trophy?
It's the same. Okay, in a path, hitting the target with the ball. Okay, you get the same trophy.
You don't get. I bet you.
You throw the ball the farthest. That's the same damn thing.
That's it. Hey, we can go all day on that. Okay. Oh, me first.
Yeah, you first play.
Okay, that's it, man. Shout out to my 49ers. Shout out to my Hurricanes. 49ers, y'all overachieved. Period. Losing everything that y'all lost all throughout the season. Letting Debo go, nothing. Working with what you had. Brock being hurt. Backup coming in, doing his thing. Everybody playing above their pay grade. McCaffrey, we know what he was going to do. He did more than what we expected. Kudos to the 49ers for doing what they wanted to. My Miami Hurricanes. I did not choose y'all to make the national championship, but I said it here, and I've been saying it all while. The only game we're going to lose if we make the playoffs is the national championship game, and that one was close. So shout out to the coach for coaching these guys up. Hopefully we can get some players in to replace the ones we're losing, and we're going to be back in the championship game next year as long as we don't have any defections.
Ooh.
Thank y'all for tuning in tonight. I really appreciate it. Everybody in the chat, like and share. I really have a last take tonight. I'm just real grateful and thank you for everybody being here.
There we go.
Yes, Eagles.
All right. Well, I guess my last take is this that I forgot to say when we were talking about Buffalo for starters. So Phillip Rivers was in the running for the.
Go ahead, Kev. Finish your last take. Let me get him before we go there.
All right. Phillip Rivers was in the running to be the Buffalo head coach, and then he withdrew his name.
Because he's no fucking coach.
He's been coaching. He's taken. Okay.
He's been coaching who?
Don't you dare, Kev.
He's been coaching who?
He just started his coaching carear.
Where?
He was coaching his kids' high school team. They went to state. Jason Witten did it, and he just got hired as an NFL coach. That's where these dudes come from.
Wait, Kev.
That's where these coaches come from. They get done playing, they go coach their kids' team, and then they jump into college and then the NFL.
Position coach, Kev. Don't you do that.
Go ahead.
Christian Parker was a position coach, and now he's a DC player.
Right. You right.
Okay.
That's your last thing. That's your last thing?
Yeah, that and an interesting stat I saw earlier. Remember I told y'all last week that the new O-line coach, or a couple weeks ago, the new O-line coach at South Carolina that came in from Penn State came in and overhauled everybody. He said he pulled a Dion. He said, y'all probably ain't going to play here. To the guys that were here last year. we now have the most experienced offensive line in the country going in to this season. I just thought that was interesting. And the amount of snaps that they have played as starters is like the most in the country.
Is it together or period?
Together. Yeah, together.
Okay.
It's something like this. The starting five, who they think are going to be the starting five, have like almost 9,000 total college snaps.
Ooh, jeez.
So they're very experienced.
300 a game? Not 300. Maybe 150 snaps a game? That's a lot.
35, they get what? 35
get
plays.
200 a game. At 10 games, that's 2,000.
What that 35? They get 35 to 40 plays a game.
Huh? So that's only 35 to 40 snaps.
No, offense usually gets offensive. If you're scoring a little bit, you're going to get about 70 total offensive plays.
Oh yeah, okay.
So 70 into 7,000 is 100 football games.
They're experienced. They've been in the league for.
Oh, you said 9,000, right?
Yeah, like 9,000. Some of them are.
Oh, you talking about the Cowboys?
6th year. No, we're talking about South Carolina.
Talking about college.
College.
100 football games, Gil. 50 football games. At 50 football games, that's 200 a game. 9,000 snaps.
Almost 9,000. It's like 87. Still, yeah.
Hey, wait a minute. Are you saying 9,000 or 800 or something?
I said it's about 8,700 snaps that these starters have taken combined.
With each player.
Okay.
Not each, yeah, combined with all 5 of the guys.
Now we're talking. I'm going to say, damn, that's a lot of football. And real quick, Don and Kel, you know why I'm going this way. In order for somebody to make an excuse, their team got to be there for them to make one. Not once did I make an excuse. I told the truth. Tell me one truth about the Dallas Cowboys outside the day's shit. Real quick.
Ask him who his team is in college.
It must be Florida State. Gotta be.
No.
Who your team? Who is it? No, tell me, because he ain't gonna take forever. Who is team?
Roll Tide. He from Alabama.
And the way y'all got your ass whooped by
Don't do that. Don't you set him up now, because you go.
The way y'all got your ass whooped in Indiana, you running your mouth. Boy, once Nick Saban left, everything left with him. Y'all ain't gonna never win nothing else. Never ever. The mystique is slowly draining out like a hot air balloon, pimp. It is gone.
And I know.
Roll your ass over in the bed.
I know what he's gonna say. I can say it for him.
Say it.
I got 18 of them things. What you talking about?
Man, he won 12 of them. Got them before it was 12 football teams. The hell?
Look.
Yeah, we suck. There you think? Tell him, Mama. True. That's why he want. You see what Mama said? It's true. Y'all, don't you say nothing about nobody making no excuse. Your team ain't gonna never be there no more.
Big Dunn, Mama. That's Big Dunn. That's Big Dunn, Mama from United. That used to work me in the building.
Oh my God, you just lose all the way around the board.
That's his teams. He been there for years.
You ain't used to winning. Oh my God, because you ain't old enough to be back when they really was truly winning. How old is he?
He my age. Dunn, me and Dunn, or Dunn a little older. Me and Dunn about the same age.
He from here?
No, he's from Alabama.
Oh, okay, good. I give you that there.
But Dunn seen Super Bowls and championships, so I got to give him that.
Okay.
Don't do it. Wait a minute, Dunn. We're 11-2 against who? Don't start that. I have nothing to do with this.
Dunn. I don't want you to confuse who my team is, pimp. Don't get no confused. Please don't do that. But anyway, hey man, thank y'all for tuning in. We appreciate y'all. As always, 6 with Nick the Great. You ain't probably seen but 2 of them. Anyway, appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. We love the interaction with y'all. Hopefully we can get this thing pumping where we can have a lot more interaction. But thank you guys for watching us.
Absolutely. All right. We will be back next Monday. Damn, there are no football games for 2 weeks.
Yeah, so we're going to start getting into the NBA because we start talking basketball when it gets around the All-Star game and We'll start jumping into that coming up in the coming week.
Go James. I'm sorry, I had to do that.
Terrible.
Look at
And that's
what
what yeah. Go ahead, Kia.
why you take
Anyways, thank you to everybody who tuned in tonight. We will be back next Monday night. Oh, shit. Until then, please, it is cold. Well, hang on, real quick. These damn weather people need to be fired. Okay? The hell am I gonna do with all this fucking firewood now? I thought we were gonna be sitting in here in 4 inches of damn ice, and we got nothing. Anyways, keep the beer cold.
Walmart made a grill.
Hey, look, the liquor store
Them
got
grocery
blown
stores
out too. I ain't mad at it. They blow the grocery stores, and then they go straight to the liquor store. Thank you. They say drinking's going away. No, it ain't. Just give us some hard times. Either way, keep the beer cold. Make sure,
Where's it going? It ain't going nowhere. People want to drink. They want to drown their miseries. Like an Alabama
business. Alcohol business was down $830 billion this past year. Big money. I'll explain all that backstage. Please keep the beer cold and the wings, lemon pepper, baby. We are out.